Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to our final Gems of War stream of the year. Gosh, it is starting already to get so late. Time just keeps flying by quicker and quicker. But yeah, final stream, we'll have a really special code to hand out a little bit later. Oops, my thing's playing another audio on the other computer. I keep always forgetting that. Like whenever you're on the stream page itself, it doesn't have any audio. But then the second you start streaming, it's like, hey, here's audio. Which kind of makes sense, obviously, but I hate when that happens. That happened 2 days in a row now. I don't think it ended up coming up on stream either time, though. Definitely not that time because it was on the other computer. But anyways. So, yeah, final Gems of War stream of the year. We'll still have some videos going up. Still need to go pre-record a lot of that stuff, though. But as far as our normal live streams, we won't be back after today until the 6th, Monday the 6th. That night we should be back. I'll be getting in later that day, but it shouldn't be so late that I'll miss a stream. I'll probably miss being able to do the event video on the day of, on that Monday, on the 6th. However, we should still be streaming that night, but that's basically going to be our next stream, Monday the 6th of next year, 2020, because I'm leaving on my trip on 2 days from now, technically the night of the 27th, but I'm basically sleeping all day tomorrow, just so I'm caught up on sleep. Also, we got excessively lucky on this account. 3 days in a row, we got a 150 kill requirement. These are really good because they're worth 100 gems instead of the normal 20 gems. They're a little bit more time consuming, but hey, we were going to stream longer anyway since it's our final stream of the year, a little bit longer, so hey, why not? So that works out quite conveniently. So it works out nice. But anyways, hello everyone! Hello Mobarachi, hello Super Scott! And if anyone has any questions, now would be a great time to ask because I won't be checking YouTube that much over the next 2 weeks until like the 6th. I'll still be checking it here or there. But now would be a great time to leave questions because I won't be around for a while. Or at least not as active as I normally would be. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Polly. Hello, Bill. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, Chipsy. Hello, Ben. Hello, Bill. Warhammer. Hello, Strodium's Cat. Hello, Lucien. Hello, Viper Twin. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. So, let's get into things. First things first. Well, you should probably start with claiming the last of our invasions. We actually finished out invasions. I did the last of my battles yesterday, and it looks like the rest of my guild pushed for the rest, so hopefully we get a blue or purple here. And we do get a purple, nice. That's basically the best drop, because I don't necessarily need more blues, so more blues is nice. That's worth 675 gems, which is essentially the highest gem value drop we could have gotten from that, so very nice. Theoretically, major blue is worth more gems, however, they don't have a direct gem value to just save you gems, whereas those can actually be used to obtain mythics by opening seal keys. Also, seals are even more sought after now that the new Guardians came into the game. And of course, you need to go get all those maxed, the new 6 Guardians that came in last Monday, so pretty recently. Or not this week's Monday, last week's Monday. So like, what, 9 days ago or so. But anyways, next thing. Let's go just clear out our dailies real quick to get these out the way, since we don't need to worry about that. And then probably a little bit of explore grind, because we have still gotten 0 niches, surprisingly. Since we've gotten 3 niches, all 3 of these niches, we've gotten 0 since then, which is quite unfortunate. And also, as far as the holiday offer today, not really that worth it. However, if you did miss last year's pet, I believe this is last year's pet. Yeah, 2018 holidays. This was the Christmas pet for last year. So if you happen to miss it, they were selling for $5. Not really worth it, but if you're in the completionist aisle and just want to get it for the sake of getting it, it is there. I wouldn't really advise it, but it is an option. None of them have really been too particularly worth it for the most part. The initial one was slightly tempting, but it still felt like a little overpriced how much they wanted for it the other day. I'm pretty sure some people still went for it because niches are so valuable. They're more so like a time value though, because they take hundreds of hours to grind. Like we haven't even gotten a single token, let alone getting a whole medal in that time. You heard the beginning of the stream on Global 1. Is it worth an honor? Haha, sure, Bill. We'll give it to you. Where are you, Bill? I am in Global 1, right? I don't see you. I don't see you. Your name's the same in game, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Just say something in Global. I'm still really surprised you haven't gotten maxed yet. You should be really, really close at this point. Hello, Druck Savage! Welcome. Yeah, it's a lot harder now to get it maxed than it was in the past. Because when it first came out, a lot of people were giving out honors like it was nothing. But now almost no one really hands out honor these days, just because it's a kind of pointless system within the game that they added. But some people still want to get it maxed, of course, because there are some benefits to having it maxed. It's not that big of a benefit, but you do get ever so slightly more gold per week and ever so slightly more gem keys by week. You can get a maximum of 3 extra gem keys and I think 15,000 gold per week from having it fully maxed out. You still get some of that benefit from having it partially maxed out, though. There's also exclusive pet to having it fully maxed. However, most people don't bother using that pets because there's so many pets in the game and you can only ever equip one at a time. And you can't equip them per team. Can we bust out the elephant? Sure, we can bust out the elephants for the stream. Why not? One moment. It is our final stream of the year, after all. Here we go. The double elephant. Let's see if I can prop them up correctly. There we go. Oi. See if I can reposition. Okay, they're kind of in frame. Close enough. I need this to be like 1 inch higher. This chair. We should put like a pillow underneath me or something. I think it's fine for now, though. There you go. Elephants as requested. What about the lizard? Oh, the little lizard on head. Oh yeah, my flea marketing lizard. Now I'm not gonna get him out. That'd be too many things. Though you could just always put him on my head like I normally do. Elephant Nisha luck. I wish. Could you imagine? Poor first ever triple Nisha. Actually, I still haven't gotten a double Nisha. Some people have already. However, it is obviously extremely rare. I believe 0 people have gotten a triple Nisha so far, though. Because not only do you need to roll 3 Nishas, well, first you need to roll a Nisha, then you need to roll a second Nisha, then you need to roll the fact that it will drop 2 or 3 tokens rather than 2, and then you need to roll a third Nisha on top of that. And the percent chance is like the smallest decimal ever of that actually happening. It's like a 0.000001 or something. It's almost like lottery level luck. Which is why there's no screenshot of it currently. I don't believe there is. Though it'd be pretty easy to Photoshop one. So it's kind of hard to tell if one is ever actually real or not. Let's see. We'll go for that. Though if we had video proof, we'd know it's real. I know, they are pretty adorable, the 2 elephants. Too bad I won't be able to bring them with me. Let's see. We'll go for dungeons. Fight that, go into key. Yeah, I'm packing pretty light for the trip. Pretty much just bringing everything I need to record my videos. Except for the microphones, because I don't want it getting damaged. I am bringing a microphone, it's just not the really good one I normally use. It's not a horrible microphone, it's just not as good as our normal mic. The normal mic's way too bulky to ever bring on trips. Especially with how easily it could get damaged going through TSA. Let's see, we'll go in this one. Let's clear out dungeons and then get everything else. Oh yeah, we have class event today too. Unfortunately, I don't really need to do it though. It's the class event for Sentinel, but we've already maxed out Sentinel. They are going to be revamping hero classes in the very near future, potentially even next patch. But within like the next patch to 3 patches, they are going to be reworking hero classes to some capacity. How so, we don't exactly know. But it's definitely going to be some amount of rebalance, if nothing else, while also possibly changing some elements of hero classes, while also changing up how the class event works. Because as many of you know, class events are pretty much the most pointless event to participate in of any event that they run. And they will be changing that as of a patch coming in the very near future, sometime in the first half of next year. Probably within the next 4 months, because in 4 months from now, we will have every hero class in the game. And they will need to add some kind of new something at that point. And we don't know what that is yet, but we'll find out soon. Find out very soon. And hello, Kevin! Welcome. And hello, Captain, if I didn't already say hi. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to my trip. Should be pretty nice. And as I mentioned earlier, it's actually going to be the first time I'll be with friends for a New Year's celebration as well. So it'll technically be the first New Year's party I've ever gone to. Well, I've technically gone to New Year's parties before. But they were normally like extremely they were either extremely high-end places that I went with my dad like for some of his business things, or it was just with family. I've never actually just stayed with friends, so should be pretty fun. Hello, Defiant, welcome. But yeah, it might be my best New Year's yet. Anyways, why am I still on this? Well, I guess we're free switching to our Wayne team. It's fine. Not that big a deal. Anyways, that's down. That's down. Of course, we have the class event. I don't think I'm going to really touch it, though. If you are going to do it, we showed the team on Monday. It was, what's it called? I know I have it. Sentinel class. This one. It was Mountain Crusher with Double King Mikhail and 2 Ursula. And that's all you'd really need. And you can just run that with Sentinel, because why not? If you're leveling it anyways, might as well get some extra XP on it. I believe class battles give 2 XP each, so you can stack up a little bit there. I really wish they give like 3 XP each if you use the hero class itself, but again, they'll be reworking the hero class events very soon, so hopefully it'll actually be worth doing once they revamp it. But at this current moment, I'm just going to be ignoring it because we already have all the XP, and 25 gems is relatively small, especially the fact that we can get 100 gems just by killing a bunch of reds. So that's pretty much our other main objective then. Of course, I've still been kind of skipping out on doing factions lately. We are at a decent amount of shards though. We're at 8,183. And of course, we'll be getting a new faction. Next new faction is going to be for Urska, oddly enough. Speaking about Urskas, even more of a reason to possibly go pick up the Urskula this week, other than being able to use it for invasions and the bounty event today. You can actually use it for some of the troops that are coming in next faction. I don't believe any of them are actually viable, but next faction is associated to Urskea after all. So we'll get to see what ends up coming with that. Also, that should bring the star level of this kingdom to about 13. 13 or 14, I forget which. I believe it's 13. So you'll be able to get that upgraded as well. Do keep in mind, though, that would require you to have the Mythic. And the most recent time you'll be able to get that Mythic is actually right now. It's not really that worth going out of your way for, because the Mythic's pretty lackluster to Doomclaw. However, it is required to get 10 plus stars on the kingdom, if you are planning on doing that. But anyways, because Doomclaw is one of the few that people tend to not have, mostly because it's not really that useful. So just a reminder there for anyone who likes upgrading kingdoms. And that would end up giving you an extra stat too. I forget, which one does it give? I believe it's armor, I want to say. HP. It gives 1 additional HP if you get it to 10 plus stars. So do be wary of that. Also, I might go use my brown deeds there. We'll consider it for next faction or not. I'm not 100% certain. We might just wait, or I don't know. But we do have enough brown deeds. If you've claimed every single brown deed that has ever existed in the game, including the, not the money ones, but if you count all the ones from Guild as well, the 2 that you would have gotten by now, you would have had enough to actually be able to go in Max Brown Kingdom. And I think I'm going to hold off for a couple of reasons. One is I want to see if we end up getting a better Brown Kingdom to put it on into the future. And the other factor is we need to start saving our Imperials for purples. Of course, now that we get slightly more purples, since we can just craft whatever scroll we want with the writs that were recently added in the most recent patch, we can put those into things like Karkaroth, like Darkstone, like Blade of Land to get those upgraded. And of course, they already got maxed out the Silverglade pretty recently. How many purples are we even at spare? We only have 2 purple spares. That's really little. Do we even have the ability to craft anymore? I don't believe we do. Let me see. Nope, we're out of writs. Or at least out of writs to the degree that we can't craft anymore there. That's really weird. They said that they were eventually going to add writs to this page, but they haven't yet. You can't see how many writs you have. If you want to see how many writs you currently have, you have to actually go under Hero, go under Bonus, or go under Inventory, and go down to wherever an Earth writs are, which are somewhere in this mess. There they are, writs, and we can see we have 78 of them, as well as all of our deeds and perils broken down into each little category. But anyways, let's go grind some. Do you have any idea how Dual Storm works? No, we will not know. We don't currently know how that one card will work. There is a weird double storm, or I think it's called something other than double storm. There's some kind of weird storm that doesn't currently exist that is coming in a few weeks, I believe. To my understanding, we don't currently know how that works. We'll probably find out when they preview it the week or 2 prior. But yeah, we currently do not know. So until they preview it, we won't really know. And we do not get to beta test troops currently. So there's been no beta on that. So we'll see exactly what it is when it happens. But yeah, currently we do not know. Let's see. I have no clue what happened with Earthbound. Hopefully we see him again soon. He's probably just busy with the holidays, most likely. Wouldn't be surprised. This is the time of year to be busy with holidays. Out of any of the holidays, New Year's plus Christmas tends to be like the biggest combination of when people are busy. But I'm glad you guys could join us for our final stream of the year. And I'm pretty sure some people will catch it after the fact. And yeah, I still haven't been able to pre-record anything, by the way. I really need to. Not sure how much time I'm really going to have to do it all, but I need to get some amount pre-recorded. I will be able to record some stuff there, though. So there's always that. However, I won't be able to record there until later, like a little bit after New Year's. So by that point, pre-recording won't really do too much, but we'll still be able to get some stuff out nonetheless. Okay, we'll get that there. There's Scorpius. I feel like every single time I want to make content for before I go, time just goes by even quicker. And then I like look at the date and it's like, oh gosh, after doing everything I need to do before leaving, it's already like time to leave. And then I sometimes lose track of actually getting the videos done. Yeah, Madness Storm is the storm that's called. We don't know what it does yet. It almost seems like it's going to be a random storm, as in it's a storm that randomly does value, or it'll randomly per turn decide to do a gem, and you probably don't know what gem that's going to be. That seems like what it's going to do. So for example, Madness Storm one turn might decide it's going to make more browns. However, it doesn't tell you that it's going to make more browns, and then another turn it could make more skulls or doom skulls or green or whatever. That seems like what it's going to do. However, we do not have confirmation on what it's going to do. But from what I can tell, that is what it does. That or Madness Storm could be a combination of skulls plus doom skulls, because there's currently not a storm that does both the two skulls. Though based on the troop that's on, I don't think it does do that. However, that storm doesn't currently exist, a skull plus doom skull storm. There's a skull storm, and there's a doom skull storm. However, there's no storm that does both of them simultaneously. And ever since Doom Skull Storm got nerfed, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was a mechanic that was added to the game to basically become what the old Doom Skull Storm was, and put it on something like a Mythic, which it is on. Or I believe it's on a Mythic. Wait, was it on a Legend or a Mythic? I can't remember now. Might actually been on a Legend. But that would make sense to have on a Mythic though. Something like a Skull plus Doom Skull Storm, to make it somewhat similar to what the old Doom Skull Storm used to be before they nerfed it to uselessness. If any of you remember when Doom Skull Storm first came out, it was the most overpowered thing in the entire game ever. It was really funny. On my Facebook, I still have a funny image that someone posted or made of the patch at the time. It's such a funny meme that someone ended up making. It basically showed the two new troops, Glaceon and Bloodhammer, in a funny little comic of them like burying everything in Doom Skulls. Like some kind of meta team at the time, which was like Dawnbringer or something. It's really funny. It was like the old meta versus the Doom Skulls as a little art piece. Oh, let's see, we'll get a mountain down. Grab our other mountain down. And Scorpius for the win. Yeah, both the Legends came out at the same time. When Droxzoom was released, both Bloodhammer and Glaceon came out at the same time. And at the time, Bloodhammer was the most overpowered troop in the entire game due to how Doom Skull Storm works. Currently, he's pretty average. You very rarely use him. However, the Glaceon plus Bloodhammer combo does still work pretty well. It's not one of the best combos in the game, but it's functions and it's still good. It's definitely above average as far as combos are concerned. And they're both from the same kingdom, so if you were opening event keys from Droxzoom, you'd most likely get both of them within the same week. And very rarely does double legend from the same kingdom actually have really good synergy. It can happen for some kingdoms. Like this kingdom's not too bad of a synergy with its double legend. With the Ursula into the Urska King. Doing that isn't too bad of a combo. I even mentioned that as a team that's viable for the class event today. However, it's not a particularly good one, whereas the Glaceon plus Bloodhammer one is still pretty decent to this day. Let's see. Though most of the better combos do go beyond kingdom lines, though, in that you'd use one legend from one kingdom and one legend from another kingdom. Kind of like how Yagwe Queen of Tanya combo works. They're not from the same kingdom, but they're one of the best combos in the entire game. Hello, Steve! Welcome! I don't know, I still feel like Slayer class is really weird. Like, it has some potential. I just overall feel like it's not worth it. Especially since most people have Warlord naturally upgraded, due to the fact that they were a newer player and forgot to ever switch their hero class to a different hero class. A lot of people, for that reason, have really highly leveled Warlord hero class. And if you already have Warlord maxed, I really do not feel like it's worth going for Slayer. You still need to get it upgraded eventually for kingdom upgrade purposes. However, its actual usefulness compared to Warlord is almost the exact same class. I don't know why they made it so similar. Maybe after they do some changes with hero classes, they'll be different enough to have a distinction. However, as they currently stand, they're almost the exact identical troop with very, very subtle differences. And unlike a subtle difference, like the difference between that of Plague Lord and Titan, there's a big enough difference between those to actually justify it, whereas there's not a big enough difference between Warlord and Slayer to justify it. Okay, we'll take that for now. Get the other one going, and dead. Oh, yeah, we'll go for that one. Grab a mountain. And then Scorpius to Scorpius. You feel like 85% of stuff in the game isn't worth it? Pretty much. That's pretty much been the game forever. Almost 80 to 90% of the content is never used, whereas the top 10 to 20% becomes the entire meta. And it's mostly because the top like 5% of troops are so good that it limits the game to 20% or less of the troops that are available. For example, Leprechaun and Mountain Crusher, either or both in combination, makes almost every other explosion troop in the game that's purpose is only for mana accumulation or primarily just for mana accumulation useless. Which is a good number of troops. That's like several dozen troops. Something that just 2 troops ends up making useless. Leprechaun because it has Empower into a mass explosion, and Mountain Crusher because it's a hero class that has basically the same thing while also being able to barrier spam forever, since you get barrier every brown and it creates Brown Storm. And those 2 things, either individually or in combination, makes nearly every other mana generator useless, or at least explosion mana generators. It made things like Azura a lot less useful. It made things like Ragnagord, which was meta for a very, very long time, kind of useless and stuff like that. Ragnagord was meta until about a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, hero classes came into the game with all their extra perks, or you know, these perks on the screen right over here, all these over here, on to the left, all those perks. That happened a year and a half ago, and 1 year ago, last December actually, last year's December, we ended up getting Leprechaun, which was the last thing that made it completely useless. Because if you still wanted a brown troop that had that capability, you would just use Mountain Crusher, and if you wanted a better option, you would just use Leprechaun, if you didn't necessarily need the brown spam. Approximately how many days 4,000 diamonds are collected? It takes approximately 90 days, give or take 30 days. But it takes approximately 90 days when playing the game casually. However, it can be sped up ever so slightly by things like gnome events, which you can farm quite a bit off of a weekend during those. It's about 10 diamonds per hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you have to keep in mind you're getting a lot of other loot while doing so. And this weekend is a vault event, by the way, if you're available this weekend. It's actually starting in, yeah, it's Thursday right now. It's starting in like 5 hours. Almost forgot about that, but yeah. Obviously, I won't be able to participate because I'll pretty much just be recording stuff the entire time and finishing last minute stuff so I need to get done before I go on my trip, and then I'll be on my trip. But if you are free this weekend, it is highly advised to go farm the vault event. Best place to do that are quest lines or challenges if you haven't already completed them out, or just spam Explore. Low level Explore is one of the better locations. Do it on Explore level 1, 2, or 3. Quick kill it with a Rowain team into Leprechaun, and rinse and repeat. And not only will you get a lot of class XP for whatever class you want to go level, but you'll also be able to find a lot of gnomes, which give various treasures like vault keys, like gem keys, like glory, souls, and a bunch of other valuable loot. Including diamonds as one of their drops. One of them drops 2 and 5 diamonds, and one of them drops 20 and 50 diamonds. Also, Cedric itself off of Vault Key can drop 50 diamonds as well, as one of its drops. I believe it's about a 1 in 10 or 1 in 12 chance, so you would end up getting diamonds off them, somewhere around there. It's probably closer to 1 in 12. But the main ways you accumulate diamonds is obviously daily dungeons. If you wanted to speed it up a little bit, buying the 50 gem pack of diamonds every single day. However, only on Sundays is it actually worth it. However, if you just needed a few more to try to farm something, you could do it every day. I don't find it worth it to do every day, but if you're only like a few hundred short, you might start considering it. Other than that, vault events, you can end up farming approximately 10 per hour. And even though that sounds low, you do get a lot of other loot while doing so. It's just it's a small part of the overall loot that you get. You're getting thousands of glory and a bunch of other gem value per hour, so this is kind of something tacked on. But that's one of the better rates that you can get as far as infinites are concerned, is during the 3 vault event days from this Friday until Monday reset. You'll be able to go and farm that pretty higher than normal, or much higher than normal. And other than that, the only other place you really get them is from guild. So if you go do your normal guild tasks, I believe you get 150 per week. I think they're on the 10th task, if I'm not mistaken. The 10th task are the normal tasks, not the epic tasks, but the normal tasks have diamonds on them. I don't believe any of the epic tasks do. I actually completely forget. I know they have emeralds, or, you know, the jewels on them. I don't think they have diamonds, though, oddly enough. Wish they would have just done chaos shards, or not chaos shards. I wish they would have just done the craftable blue shard things, though, instead. The ones that could be converted into diamonds or to colors. Because the fact that colors are on each one, I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. Rather than just giving us the crafting material. Kind of like how they did with Ritz. Because there isn't too many ways to obtain that crafting material. The one that can craft either of the 6 color jewels or diamonds. Generally, you only ever spend those on diamonds. However, they can be spent on the color ones as well. Yeah, and that's another way that you get diamonds. If you haven't already converted them, you can convert all of your little blue shard things, I forget the proper name, into diamonds. And those are the only things you should ever really be converting them into. But these things right over here, these blue shards, I forget their name. They have some kind of proper name. I just call them blue shards. But you can craft those into diamonds as well. And obviously you probably don't have enough to craft 5,250 diamonds. But you can probably craft some amount of diamonds that will go towards your stack, if nothing else. Depending on how many you've accumulated. Because it can be easy to forget to go and craft those. I deliberately don't craft them in case they ever add something else that these can be used for, these blue shards. And because we have enough diamonds already without those to craft, like, what, 13 mythics? Yeah, 13. 14, actually. 14 mythics. But, yeah, I'm kind of just hoarding those in case they ever add a new function for them, which they probably won't, but you never know. And for that reason, I hold out just in case. Because we don't know. You barely use Iron Gut or Queen Titania anymore? To be honest, I feel the same. However, they're both still very useful. Queen Titania is still the highest overall spell damage increase in the entire game, while also still having, if you count the Fairy Fire into it, it has the highest AoE one-cast spell in the entire game. You can still infinite better off a Truffle and things like that. However, if you're looking for the overall value of one single cast in combination with her trait, her ability is actually the strongest in the game in that regard. And other than that, Iron Gut's still good for instant killing stuff. However, ever since Truffles became relatively meta, or, you know, basically were added to the game because they've always been meta since they've been released. Ever since Truffles have come around, I do feel like I've stopped using Iron Gut quite a bit more. That doesn't make Iron Gut useless, it's just he's a lot more situational than he has been in the past. Where did I get these elephants? I got them off of Amazon at 2 different instances from 2 different sellers, which is probably why they look different. The first one was 25 and the other one was 20. I should put like an affiliate link into the description or something. But yeah, I got them off of Amazon a while back. This one I got like I think I got this one for around Valentine's last year. I ended up just getting for myself, and the other one I got from Black Friday because it was cheaper. And I was like, I might as well get another one. Because that was when I was buying all the stuff for the channel, and I saw that and was like, how could I not? For that price. I think normally they go for like 30 or something, 30 to 40. But you can normally find them cheaper whenever there's sales. Yeah, they're really cuddly. They're honestly my favorite plushies I've ever had, and I've had a lot of plushies in the past. I actually used to go every single weekend with my dad to the Boardwalk. You know, like one of those areas where the Jersey Shore and stuff used to be recorded. Like prior to that show even existing, because, you know, I just used to live in New Jersey. So everyone in New Jersey tends to go there quite a bit, back when it was like really big, like about a decade or so ago, or a little bit longer than that. But recently it's been destroyed by Hurricane Sandy and a few fires. But oh, that's a whole story in itself. But anyways, yeah, I used to go there almost every weekend, or at least like once a month a weekend, and go and play stuff there. And my dad used to love doing the crane games, and I used to have so many Pokemon plushies. as well as just other various plushies, but mostly Pokemon plushies, because Pokemon was still really big at the time, and still is. But you know, it was like really, really big in the late 90s, early 2000s, and yeah, I have like 1.5 billion of those plushies. Not sure if I still have most of them. They're probably in a storage somewhere in New Jersey. I still have all my old Nintendo stuff though, like N64, GameCube, stuff like that. Those ancient things. But I'm not sure how many of the plushies I still have left. They're all in New Jersey somewhere. Some of them were probably just thrown away though, I think. Because if we kept every single plushie, there was enough plushies to almost fill like an entire room. And so many plushies I used to have. I know, I never grew out of plushies. They're really nice. What do we grab? We get this. Grab our mountain. I don't have a cascade for that, so we'll throw a mountain. Get ourselves a skull over there. Grab a Scorpius. And it will just explode into mountain. Also, we'll probably hand out the code soon. However, we do only have one code this stream for our final stream. However, it's a super ultra mega code. It'll have 25 gems in it, which is a much bigger code than we normally give. But I only do it for special occasions. And yesterday we did it because it was Christmas, and today we're going to do it because it is our final stream of the year. And technically we're celebrating New Year's today. I didn't even get to say that either. Happy New Year's, everyone! Because I won't be around to say Happy New Year's, so Happy New Year's. Happy 2020 soon, TM. Because I won't be back until the 6th, in which case I'll probably still say Happy New Year's during that stream. But during the actual time of New Year's, I won't be around. Special occasions and accidents. I have fixed it so I won't accidentally give out the codes anymore. Or the better codes. I did, I think, like twice accidentally give out the better codes when I meant to give out a normal code. But I fixed it so I won't be able to do that again on accident. I say that, but it'll probably still happen eventually. Yeah, thank you everyone. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's. This will probably be one of my funner ones compared to normal. You once got a Happy New Year's in April? That's kind of funny. I think I do it as late as like late January. So I don't think I've ever gone later than that. Like I done it almost up to Valentine's Day before. Still saying Happy New Year's to some people. So I don't think I've ever gone like beyond Valentine's Day. Also, hello, Gustavo. Welcome. Also, hello, Robert and Jefferson. Welcome, welcome. Accidentally TM. It does remind me, we do have another spot for an emoji that I still haven't bothered using yet. We might need to do that eventually. Not sure if we're gonna get custom ones or not. I still have a bunch of money in Fiverr that I've been meaning to do for something. My only problem with Fiverr is every single person I want to commission, or that like everything I want to try commissioning, I don't know, it just feels like there's no good artist for it on Fiverr. Fiverr in general seems like a horrible place to try to get commissions from. I've been getting commissions for various things for like 5 years now. And Fiverr is by far the worst commissioning website I have ever used. And I have like $100 stuck in their system, so I need to find something for it. Like even the person who I was going to get the animations for at the beginning of the video, because you guys may have mentioned or heard me mention about a month ago that I was going to get an animation for the beginning of the stream. Well, that got canceled too because they shut down. I'm not sure why they shut down, but they just like randomly shut down literally their entire account during the commission thing. I got my money back luckily, but still, they like literally just completely fell off the face of the earth, their whole account. So yeah, Fiverr, how wonderful. And they didn't even seem that bad either. But yeah, it's a really weird website. I did not advise it, but I still need to find something because I don't want that $100 to go to waste. What do we grab here? Let's get that for now. And then we just mountain into the double kill. Flat Earth, people keep falling off. Definitely not. Let's see. We'll move that over for now. I don't know. I've commissioned a lot of stuff, and I haven't really had much of an issue with it until I've gone on Fiverr. I've only been burnt prior to Fiverr on probably 2 commissions. Yeah, I've almost pretty much been burnt immediately on 2 commissions by using Fiverr twice. But, which is kind of funny. But, no, I've only ever really lost out, I think, twice. But on Fiverr, it has literally happened twice within 2 attempts. I've done some freelance work in the past. I generally don't like doing it because commissioners' expectations tend to be higher than actual capability sometimes, even if they see your work already. So I have done some commission works for friends because obviously that's not as annoying. But commissioning for random people, I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of it from the little bit that I've done for it in the past with writing. I also don't feel like I'm diligent enough to ever really do that consistently. It's something I kind of want to look into more into the future. Yeah, it's definitely hard to do. Mostly dealing with customers is the hardest part of it, more so than anything. It's finding customers and dealing with customers. Let's go on this one. And the big issue with things like Fiverr and other similar websites, if you don't just do it completely freelance on your own, is like through your website or something, is a lot of selling places like eBay, Fiverr, and a billion other locations are really in favor of the consumer rather than the seller. And while this is obviously good for the consumer, like I got, instead of getting completely burnt out at 2 commissions, oh nice, another Anu, I ended up getting all my money back on the 2 things I got on Fiverr. However, people exploit that like crazy on things like that, on eBay, Fiverr, similar things. And the websites like those tend to be extremely in favor of the buyer rather than the seller, so that there's still money in the economy. However, it makes sellers kind of get phased out and make it not as worth actually selling on their websites, which ends up causing a lot of like low-end sellers to do scams and other similar things. Which is why Fiverr and eBay are so full of scams. Because it pushes out all the legitimate sellers to go and basically go either do it through their website or do it through some other means. Whereas all that remains on the website are all the scammers, essentially. And that has happened really hard with eBay. And apparently, from what I can tell, this happened really hard with Fiverr. It's one of the slight issues with consumer protections. Like, obviously, there should be some amount of consumer protections and regulations, but when it becomes too much, there becomes a lot of problems. And Fiverr and eBay are a good example of those problems. Commissions work is hard because you need constant or consistent mindset. And more importantly, set up a system that works. How do you set price on a piece of writing? Honestly, no one could pinpoint the price. I've done it in the past. I've ranged from 1 cent per word to 2 cents per word is generally the frame of which I have done writing for in the past. Though it can vary depending on, you know, the type of writing that you're doing. Because obviously some forms of writing are way quicker than others. But that's the general price range I've done in the past. What do we take here? Let's get our splodies. Get a mountain to get the rest of our mana for Scorpius. The only slight issue with writing too, I did it a lot closer to when I was in college. Now that I'm not writing on a regular basis, it's a lot harder for me like to get into that mindset now compared to before. Because in college and stuff like that, it was a lot easier to do because, well, you're having to write every single day for like classes and other stuff like that. But now that I haven't been really writing on a regular basis, gosh, it's hard to get back into. What do we take here? Let's grab a, we'll stick purple for now. He's already poisoned, so we can just go for a double there. And then just kill it out. That's how many red kills we're on. We are at 70. We're not even halfway there yet, actually. We'll do it at 100. How about that? Once we hit 100 red kills, we'll give out the code. What suburb of Chicago will I be in? It's a part of it slightly north. It isn't actually Chicago. It's slightly above north of Chicago. I forget what it's called. But it's slightly north of Chicago. It's like 30 minutes north of Chicago. Or that's how long the Uber normally takes. So whatever's 30-minute north of Chicago is probably the location. I forget what it's called. I just always call it Chicago because that's the airport I go to. Obviously to get in. But that's not actually where I'll be. I'm normally there some because we'll probably take like a train there to go do something at some point possibly. But for the most part, I'm not actually going to be specifically in Chicago, just right next to it. Yes, I got 150 kill tasks 3 days in a row. I have no clue how we got this lucky. But that's very rare. It's about a 5% chance per day. And we got it 3 days in a row. And it's random per person. So what is that? What's your chance of 5% in a row? Okay, I'm gonna do the math on that real quick. But that's your chance of getting 150 kills in a row, which we just got. That'll be funny if we get 4. I might need to go post a screenshot of it on Twitter if we end up getting a 4th. Because that is absurdly lucky to get that many in a row. Even just getting 2 in a row is pretty rare. We've gotten 3 in a row so far. Yeah, they're 5% chance per day that they occur. And that's if you've completed out your previous task. Evanston? No, I don't believe Evanston sounds correct. It's a 0.0125% chance. Gosh, that is lucky. That'd be funny if we get another one tomorrow. But I guess we can consider our Christmas gift. Unless they deliberately made the chance higher this season, but I don't think they did. I think we just got absurdly lucky for once. Normally you only get it about once a month, given that a 5% chance would once or twice a month. But we've gotten 3 days in a row so far. Yes, we're giving the condition of the code once we hit 100 red kills, which is what our current task is. Well, we have to kill 150, but at 100 we'll hand out code. And then we'll finish out the other 50. Though I might want to switch to a kingdom that gives red at a higher rate. Otherwise we'll be here for another hour. Which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It is our last stream of the year after all. If anyone still has any questions, now would be the time to ask. Because this is our last stream of the year until the 6th. Until Monday the 6th, we will not be streaming again. I know, stream. What are you doing? Come back. Come back. Wait, is it still dropped? Hello, stream. Are you still there? Oh no! It just logged me out of my account. What are you doing, YouTube? What are you doing? What is YouTube doing right now? Can you guys still hear me? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, it's back now. Okay. That is so weird. I think it just dropped because YouTube just logged me out of my account. I have no clue why. But YouTube literally just logged me out of my account. That's not nice, YouTube. I've never seen that happen. That is very strange. Like, as I'm streaming, it logged me out of my account. Yeah, it does look like it has low video output. That should fix in a moment, though. That should hopefully fix itself in a minute. It doesn't look like it is yet, though. The quality is a little bit lower right now because I do have the stream to auto-adjust. So whenever the connection is being weird, it auto-adjusts to lower resolution. Which is probably what it's doing right now. But it should be fixed in about a minute, hopefully. I have some things set up with 2-factor. I haven't set up literally everything with 2-factor, though. Okay, there we go. Stream should be better now. Yeah, I know, that was really strange. Okay, let's grab that, get a mountain, or get a Scorpius there. I have seen that before, but never while I was streaming. Like when YouTube forgets you're even logged in. It normally happens around the time whenever YouTube is doing an update. So maybe they're doing one last update for the year. Wow, 3 Anus this stream. I can tell because we just got enough to get a badge. Which is definitely 3 Anus. Very nice. Another 6 and we can go get Queen Titania start to get upgraded. That or save it for some kind of other legends. I don't think I'm going to be using it into Truffle though. While Truffle is obviously one of the best, if not the best legend in the entire game, the big issue with him is he doesn't gain much of a benefit from being upgraded. Similarly, Mirage Queen is another one that's kind of in that category. However, it too gains very little benefit from actually being upgraded. For that reason, I might skip out. Whereas Queen Titania, while I don't use it as much, it gains a gigantic benefit, probably almost more so than any other legend from being upgraded. Because combined with Fairy Fire, it gains 9 additional damage per cast. 6 off of its ability and additional 3 for Fairy Fire. Giving it the absolute highest damage increase of any troop in the game from being meddled. Which is pretty relevant. Troops to prioritize on metal. We covered a video on it earlier. The best 4 to metal every single rarity. Here's the video on it. Or actually, it might take me a minute. One moment. Let me go find where this is buried. Also, everyone, feel free to leave a like on the stream. We only have 4 likes? No, this must be an unupdated page. There's no way we only have 4 likes on the stream. But feel free to leave a like. Helps out a lot. But anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for my video on what's it called? On the thingies, because it'll be way quicker just to show the video than to explain it. Right now, let's see. If I just type in metal, it'll probably bring it up if I could type correctly. The elephants are in the way. There we go. Metal. Elite level guide. Yep, there it is. Here's a video on it. Just covered it a month ago. It's fully 100% up to date. Let's see. Let me get rid of the timestamp start. Where's backspace? There we go. Copy this whole thing. Copy, copy. Here you guys go. Here's the link to the video going over the best thing to metal everything. That also mentions the Queen Titania Yagwe thing, as well as 4 for every rarity. Also keep in mind, one thing that wasn't mentioned in that video, though I mentioned Guardians in general, and I think I might have even mentioned the new 6 that will be coming, but the new 6 Guardian troops are also worth upgrading, or at least most of them are, especially if you plan on using any of them. Look what up, Defiance? What was that question to? If you meant the video, there's the video. If you're referring to best things to metal. But as far as, just a quick overview, as far as commons are concerned, Dragon Eggs and all of the Guardian troops are the best thing to do on commons. For rare, it's basically just bounty hunter troops and good utility troops. For ultra rare, it's basically just good utility troops, things like, things like Apothecary, Leprechaun, stuff like that. For epics, it's mostly just Gargoyle. And from there, you kind of just do it depending on what you use for teams. For legendary, it's Yagwe and Queen Titania, and then you go from there depending on whatever's meta or you feel like using at the time. And for mythics, they're so expensive, I'm pretty sure no one's even at the point of upgrading mythics yet. So that's a whole video in itself into the future, but as it currently stands, I think I mentioned Aquaticus and a few others, I forget exactly. But currently, there is really almost no point in upgrading mythics in the current state of the game. They are ultra expensive to upgrade with metals. and very few people even have a single mythic upgraded. And if they did, they probably use some of their Anus rather on mythics rather than on legends. Which I would advise using the legendary ones on legend only for now, and the mythic ones eventually on mythics once you have more than 3 copies. However, very, very few people have more than 3 Nishas. Nisha medals, that is. Because we just finished that a couple weeks ago. And even people who grind a lot probably have only hit up to like 6 medals or so. Nisha medals. And even that's not enough to max out a mythic. Because you need 6 to max out a mythic. And you would want to keep at least 2 or 3 spare for bonuses. Oh, you guys are still trying to guess cities? Oh no, I could let you guys know after the fact where I was for the time. Because I completely forget what it is offhand. One of you could guess correctly and I won't even know if it was the correct guess. Yeah, I actually don't have any family in Illinois or Chicago. However, I do have some friends there. Yeah, most of my family is actually in New Jersey, oddly enough. There are some across the United States, but I think like 70 to 80% of it's in New Jersey. Still. Yeah, I do miss the boardwalk there. It's gotten destroyed so many times. The sawmill there is still one of my favorite pizza places. Has some of the biggest pizza that you can possibly ever get. I think there are some places that do slightly bigger. However, they are well known for having absurdly large pizza. Like 3 times normal size pizza. Like 1 slice is almost an entire pizza-sized pizza. But that place has gotten destroyed so many times. First, it was Hurricane Sandy, which was, what, 2016, I believe that was? Then it was a fire, and then it was another fire. So they've had a lot of problems there, and a lot of people didn't bother rebuilding after that point. And the area has been so dead since. Like, people still go there. It's also a really, like, nice biking location. I used to bike there a lot in college. It was a little bit of a ride. But I think it was like a half an hour from where I was while I was in college. But it was a pretty nice place to go biking. Because the boardwalk itself was still intact, because they rebuilt all of that. It's just a lot of the places around it that got people to actually go there ends up shutting down, or got burnt down, or got destroyed by hurricane. Something happened to them, or they just went out of business because all those other factors making less business in the area. Oh, do grab there. Take that. You were born in Villa Park, Illinois. Nice. Why does that sound like the place that I'm actually going to? I think it's called something Park, the place I'm going to in Illinois. I don't think it was called Villa Park, though. I'm not sure. There's only so many options that could end with Park. Oh, have we not got an extra turn yet? Let's go for that for now. And then dismount and everything. And go for the other Splody. Be good to go. Have we hit 100 red kills yet? Nope. Need 9 more, and then we'll hand out code. Then we'll finish out the rest of our grinds. I wish I could grind out the vault event. I'm not sure how I've managed to do this, but we've missed, or I've missed, 2 of the last 3 vault events. In October, I had company over, and this month I'm going over to on vacation. So now I ended up missing 2 entire Vault weekends within 3 Vault weekends, which is quite unfortunate. However, our resource stack hasn't really plummeted much despite that, oddly enough. However, our overall potential amount of resources have. I think the main reason why it hasn't plummeted as much is Tribute keeps getting better by the week. Because every single time more troops come into the game, Tribute gets better. And every single time Tribute gets better, the more resources we get just by constantly playing the game by taking Tribute. And that kind of makes up for the fact that I wasn't getting as many resources during Vault events over the course of weeks. Thank you, Danilo. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I still got some work to do before I go, though. Not sure how much I'll be able to get done. But don't be too disappointed if I don't get too much done. Because I might not get too much done. Because I'm already in... honestly, since like a little bit before... I'm pretty sure some of you guys might have noticed it with these streams too and stuff. But I've been in vacation mode, mindset-wise, for like the last few days. And still am. Which is making me like really lazy in doing work, to be honest. Because ever since like a few days ago, my mind has been, pretty much since this weekend, I'd say, maybe even a little bit before then, my mind has just been in 100% vacation mode. What do I take here? Take Brown over there. Where are the best kingdoms to farm during Vault Weekend? Pretty much any. It really depends on where you want to trade stone. You would just want to avoid kingdoms that have Revive. As long as you're avoiding kingdoms that have Revive on death, you'll be fine. So you want to avoid Dragon's Claw, you want to avoid, because it has a 50% revive. You want to avoid Blighted Lands because they have several 25% revives. Excuse me. You want to avoid Drakzoom, or not Drakzoom. You want to avoid, what's it called? You want to avoid Groshnok because it has a 100% revive. And you want to avoid, ideally, pretty much any kingdom that has any amount of troops that has a 25% revive. What that full list is, I am actually not 100% sure off the top of my head. I believe Starlight was building a list of every single thing related to that. So if you happen to catch Starlight somewheres in-game or on the forum or something, ask him, because I believe he's making a list of all that. I'm not sure if he's posted on his website yet, that one Gems of War resource that he has. But Starlight, are you here? Because if you have, let me know. But yeah, whatever all the kingdoms are that do not have a 25% revive are the locations where you would want to go and do that. And unfortunately, one thing that recently got a 25% revive, unfortunately, is Urskea. Urskea used to not have any. However, it does have one now. But ideally, the way that you would farm a Vault event is you would run a Leprechaun Rowan team with some kind of tank up front, with Rowan not blocked by anything. And then just simply one-shot them on either difficulty 1, 2, or 3. The difficulty you do is whatever difficulty you can consistently, 100% of the time, kill them. So obviously, if you can't kill them at higher levels, just do it on Explore 1. But if you can do it on Explore 3 or Explore 2 consistently, then do it on the higher one, just because you get slightly better loot while still winning instantly. But that's pretty much all you do to farm out the Vault event. Like, I can go show you. It's pretty straightforward as soon as we finish out this battle. Get a Scorpius here. I don't believe Broken Spire has any, so let me just go test on Broken Spire real quick. So, for example, just go to any kingdom that does not have a... let me grab this. Gotta get that tribute. So go to any kingdom that doesn't have any revives on death. Click Explore. You'd also ideally want to avoid spell reduction kingdoms. However, very few have spell reduction other than White Helmet Adana. But go to any of these kingdoms. Use some kind of standard Explore team, which is any weapon combined with Rowan, combined with Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen if you have it. However, the core of this team is anything in first slot, ideally hero just to get free class XP, followed by Rowan, followed by Leprechaun, followed by anything. The reason for Mirage Queen, which is advised if you have it, a fully traded Mirage Queen, is it gives half mana start to your Rowan. And Rowan you get for free from Forest of Thorns Kingdom. And this you also get really easily. The, what's it called? The Mirage Queen you end up getting from Sunken Fleet if you just throw some shards at it. Probably get it within about 1,000 or less. Also, why are we struggling to get 1 mana? What's going on here? But normally you just go through that, instantly kill them. We're doing on Explored 3 just because we can one-shot it, but you just do it on whichever one. Also, you'd want to set your thing to all armors. All 3 of them being armor. And you just rinse and repeat over and over again. And that's how you would farm the Vault event. You would just keep doing this over and over and over again for the entirety of the Vault event, and then you'll get a bunch of gnomes, and those gnomes will drop you a bunch of loot. You also get some token drops, however, do keep in mind at these low of a rarity, you don't get anything above Arachnia for your tokens. All you'd have to do is just keep doing this. It wins in about 20 seconds per cycle, counting the duration of the battle and all loading screens and all the clicking in between screens. But you can get anywhere from about 3 to 4 kills per minute doing this method. Oh, did I say per hour? I meant per minute. But you can get 3 to 4 kills per minute, anywhere from 180 to about 200 kills per hour approximately. And during that, you get a bunch of gnomes. Oh, that's not the one I want. Get the metal in there. Okay, back to the red kills. So, oddly enough, I think we just got a bunch of red kills from that. There we go. Okay, code time. Oh, I don't have it on copy-paste, do I? No! Wait, did I have it on copy-paste and then accidentally did it that way? No, I don't think I ever put it on copy-paste. One moment. Let me go get it. 1 second. Let's see. Are you the almighty good code? Oh, well, it definitely is. What I should say is, does it work? Because this is definitely a better code. If it works is the question, and it does. Let me make sure it's the right one. Resource-wise, should be. Well, regardless, it's a working code, so you guys are getting it one way or another. But no, that should be the one with gems in it. But there you guys go. There is the redeem code. And it is the ultra special one. Though apparently Keylime or someone's streaming right now. I don't know, who's streaming right now? Because this isn't mine. I know one for sure because it says 5 minutes ago, not 0 minutes ago. But that's apparently from Keylime or someone. He's streaming. But other than that, here's the one we actually gave out because it says 0 minutes ago. So this one's definitely the one that we just handed out in chat right now. Definitely go make sure to use it. Has 500 souls, 25 gems, and 5,000 gold. Normally our codes will be the other ones. However, given that this is our last stream of the year, we have a special one for it. So there you guys go. But yeah, obviously the main loot in there is the 25 gems, which is pretty nice. But let's go claim it. And there you guys go. 25 gems and 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold's not too bad though. 25 gems is obviously the best loot in there. It's basically the equivalent of 3 gem keys, essentially. So it's almost the equivalent of 3 codes within 1 code. It's double the gold and 3 times the gem value. But anyways, there you guys go. It's already posted in chat. That didn't take long. But yeah, guilds tend to share it very, very quickly. It's one of the reasons why even if we have less than several hundred viewers, which is almost always, obviously, it ends up dying very quickly, even though they have multiple hundred claims. Oh, this is not the team I meant to be using here. Whoops. Oh, no! I hate when I do this. I did this on the Mythic battle, too. We're going to lose. We're going to lose 100 shards. I absolutely hate when I do this because they put the warning for the battle right before you go into right when you initially find it rather than right before you go into it, which doesn't make any sense at all. To have the warning there rather than right before you go into the battle. And because of that, I sometimes accidentally go into these battles with the wrong team, and we just went into it with the wrong team. This team is not meant to be fighting higher level content. It's meant to quick kill things instantly. Whoops! Oh well, we just lost 100 shards. Mistakes were made. Okay, let's change to the real team now. That's not what I want. That a team is solely meant for killing low level stuff very quickly. It is not meant to upskill at all. It's just meant to win a battle within seconds when they're very low stats. There we go. That's how the team's supposed to work. The right one, anyways. Oh yeah, I never got more of the normal codes. Though I will be getting more once New Year comes around. I'll make sure to ask them Sunday night before I get back, if I remember. Should be able to remember. Let's see. We'll take that for now. It's called Myth Stones, not shards. Yeah, they're called Myth Stones. The ones that are in Soulforge are called shards. The purple ones in Underworld are called Chaos Shards. And the ones that are required to go and upgrade or to go get 100 of them in order to go get a chest off these battles are called Myth Stones. Those, I believe, are the 3 names for them. I'm not sure if the one that's called Shards has a special name other than just Shards. The last I recall, it's just literally called Shards, which is a little bit confusing given that there's other things that look like Shards while also having the name in their name of Shards. But I'm pretty sure the craftable ones are just called Shards. The ones that can craft into diamonds and jewels. That you basically only use for diamonds. You just peeked at the metals video. Do you cover which metals to use? Yes, I believe so in that video. Generally, when it comes to using metals, for commons, rares, and ultra rares, you use, on the first level, you use 1 of its rarity. then 2 of its rarity for the second level, and then the final level you use 1 of the above rarity. So for example, an ultra rare would be something like ultra rare 1, ultra rare twice, and then epic once. For something like rare, it'd be rare once, rare twice, and then ultra rare once, and stuff like that. And for legendaries, or for epics, the way you do it is you just use 6 of the epics, 1, 2, and then 3, for the first, second, and third level. And then for legends and mythics, you apply the same thing. You just throw 1 legend, 2 legend, 3 legend for the legends for the 3 levels, and then same for mythics, 1 mythic, 2 mythic, and 3 mythic for the levels. Meaning for epics, legends, and mythics, you will require 6 of its token in order to max it out. Whereas all the below rarities, you can use 3 of its rarity with 1 of the above rarity. Alternatively, something else you can do, since ultra rares are so much more common than commons and rares, you can upgrade commons and rares by using 1 of its rarity for the very first one, and then use ultra rare for the other 2. So to upgrade a common, you can use 1 common and then ultra rare, or for a rare, you can do the same thing where you use 1 rare and then ultra rare. So given that ultra rares are way more common, you can end up doing that as well. It just depends how you want to go about it. I do not advise doing percent chances though. Everything that I just mentioned is for 100% chance to upgrade it. I do not advise ever doing a non 100% chance to upgrade. You can if you want, however, do keep in mind you 100% waste any souls, because the amount of souls that it costs to do chance will apply even if it fails. So if you do one and it's costing 20,000 souls and it fails, you still lose your 20,000 souls, plus all the tokens on top of that, or all the medals I should say. So I personally only advise ever doing 100% on them. I have yet to ever do a percent chance yet. And I personally do not feel like it's worth it, due to how much resources you lose when it fails. Which is kind of weird, because most games that have that mechanic makes it so it's enticing to actually go for, so that you would fail. However, Gems of War makes it so much worse to fail compared to actually just doing it normally, that you should never, ever, ever do a percent chance on it. It is 100% never worth it. Yeah, technically it can be successful, but the problem is it can also not be successful. And you lose the souls regardless of if it is or isn't, as well as the tokens, obviously. I feel like it's way too overpriced soul-wise for percent chance. They drastically need to reduce down the soul price if they ever want people to do the percent chance thing. Like, the amount of souls it should cost is based on the percent chance you have, which is not how it currently is. So if you're doing something like a 25% chance, the souls at absolute most should be 25% the normal cost of how much it would normally be to upgrade it. But right now it's the full cost, even if you're doing a percent chance, which is just way too expensive. And even if they did reduce it, it would still be too expensive just because of luck. And it's best to go for the guarantee. I do always find it funny though, because a lot of the mechanics that Gems of War adds, that are like some of the really unfortunate mechanics that a lot of other mobile games have, that they slowly over time keep pushing because I'm pretty sure their publisher wants them to or something. I don't know, some factors making them want to do it. But regardless, they keep end up adding some of these like extremely common mobile like things. However, I'm not sure if they're doing this deliberately, but because they have to or something, but they're doing it in a way where it's basically pointless to ever participate in these things. So big props on them, because if they're actually being like made to have to do these mechanics, they're implementing them in a way where you don't actually have to participate in those like really annoying mechanics that some mobile games end up placing in. Like the fact that you have like a percent chance to upgrade. Because in every instance, it is never worth going for the percent chance upgrade in Gems of War. And a few other similar mechanics like that. I don't know, I just find that rather interesting. What is the best epic you can get from a kingdom? Rowain. If you're basing it off overall value, you get her for free from Forest of Thorns. She's meta even in late game. There's not a single point in the game when she's not meta. From the second you own her all the way until level billion. She is useful. She's never not useful. Early game, you use her as your primary troop and as your main damage source option, as she's one of the only really viable damage sources that you can get as a newer player. She's one of the only few. And later into the game, you use her for quick killing content, as she currently has the best upscaling, because as you get later into the game, you have a lot higher armor. And obviously, the lighter you are in the game, the easier it is for you to get more stats. And Rowan scales very well off of having higher stats. So early game, she's one of your best damage, and as you get later into the game, you'll have more stats to allow her to do quick kills for various content. You start with doing her for Explore 1 quick kills, and as you keep going, you use her for other stuff. But yeah, she's consistently, easily the best epic in the entire game that you get for free off the Kingdom. She might even just be arguably best epic in the game, period, as well. Just because of her overall value, and you get her for free within like an hour of playing the game. Well, maybe not an hour of playing the game, but you have to go and play through the game, get to Forest of Thorns Kingdom, then complete out the entirety of the Forest of Thorns questline, then you get her for free. But of all the free epics, she's definitely the easiest, or she's definitely the most valuable, hands down. They actually buffed her like a crazy high buff a couple years ago, where they changed her 1x boost ratio to 2x boost ratio, and ever since then she's been excessively meta, and only has gotten even more meta as time gone by, because as time goes by, more armor comes into the game, and as more armor comes into the game, she becomes better. And while armor is useless in most situations relative to HP, because HP is always better than armor, Rowan is one of those few instances that keeps armor somewhat valuable, in that the more armor you have, the more damage you do with Rowan. And ever since they added medals, that was a gigantic buff to her as well a couple months ago. Last October, they added medals, of course, and medals can make it so you get 24 additional armor to your entire team, and that, of course, includes Rowan. So that means 40 additional damage for Rowan, and not to mention, those medals are not that hard to get in early game either. Like, within a month of playing as a newer player, you could easily get enough medals of Anu to go and give her 24 armor as a bonus off of those medals, which is a substantial increase to her damage. Yeah, she's one of a few troops that hasn't been touched forever, yet keeps getting stronger as time goes by, which is kind of funny. Because Rowan hasn't been reworked for about 2 to 3 years, yet she's only increasingly gotten stronger over that time. Hopefully they never nerf her, because she's a pretty big part of the meta in the game right now, as well as a great option for newer players, given how accessible she is. And a lot of the things to make her work are accessible too. Leprechaun's a really low rarity troop. Something like Urskea's Shield, which is sometimes synergized with her, is extremely easy to obtain off of getting 250 wins off Urskia hero class. It's kind of like what you do to get... it's the same methodology behind getting Rowan, except a little bit slower, because you have to also get 250 wins on the class. But same general premise. You do the Kingdom, you get a class, and then you get 250 wins on the class. Whereas for Forest of Thorns, you just do the Kingdom, and then you just have her. A little bit more effort, but still really quick to get. Because 250 wins can be accumulated within a few hours, if you're rushing through quick wins. Because it doesn't matter what kind of battle you do. Each win counts as a win. Yeah, generally in early game, if you want to use a troop, you need to level it to at least level 10. Anything lower than level 10, you might as well not even use in most situations, just because your stats are too low. So leveling something to level 10 isn't that bad. But it is advised to, when you're first starting out in the game, it's better to level a bunch of stuff to level 10 than to try to get a few things to like level 17 or 18, unless you've really found a dedicated team that you want to stick with. Generally, when you're going through early game, in order to test more teams and to be able to have more team building capabilities, you want to level most of your stuff initially to just level 10. It's something I don't normally mention, just because it's only applicable for about your first month or so of playing, or first 2 months sometimes. But you only ever really want to level your stuff when you're a newer player to about level 10. And then once you find ones that you actually like, level them to 15. But very rarely do you ever level anything beyond 15, even if you have the capability of doing so. Unless it's something like a mythic that you really want, in which case you might as well just use a green orb on it, a major green orb that gets it automatically max leveled, which you get one for free every single raid and evasion event, really easily on the lower ends. And other than that, maybe this is some key legends that you really like. like if you find a legend that you know you're going to be using for a while. But other than that, most of the lower rarity troops, like commons, rares, ultra rares, maybe even most epics, you only really level them to 10, and then if you really like them to 15, and then don't get them any further for a while. It's because it starts costing a lot of souls once you start getting to the higher levels, particularly any of them beyond 10. And you can end up wasting a lot of souls on stuff that you might not end up using too much into the future. And most things can be easily usable at 10. For example, something like an apothecary. Apothecary at level 10 compared to 17 is not really going to make a difference. Like, you just get her to 10 just to have her some durability, just so she doesn't die instantly. But the difference between 10 and 17 for her doesn't really make or break the troop. And a lot of low-level utility troops are the same way, where you don't really need them that leveled for them to still get their value. You basically just level them so they don't instantly die. And to just make sure your first 2 slots are a little bit more leveled, since those are going to be the ones taking all the skulls. Though normally one of your first 2 slots is your hero anyway, so you already have one of them covered. Most early game teams also run hero in first slot almost always. And the main reason for that is since you don't have as many stuff leveled, and your hero is the cheapest thing in the entire game to level, it's actually cheaper to max out a hero class than it is to level a common to max. So it's highly advised to level up those hero classes, and to just use your hero as a tank. Not only does the hero have the high stats in the entire game, throughout the entire game, including early game, it's also really cheap to level in early game, and you just use that as your tank for probably up to about 500, sometimes even to 1,000, and theoretically through the entire game as well. But it's your best tank option, always, particularly in early game, is just to put hero up front with something like Titan hero class, or whatever hero class you feel like using. So Titan is overall best, and I highly advise getting leveled, just because it's versatile for everything. Yeah, souls, when you're early on in the game, because you don't have access to the alternative farming methods, can be a little bit slow to accumulate really, really early on in the game. However, keep in mind, Vault Weekends this weekend, and Soul Gnomes do appear during Vault Weekends, among other gnomes. And Soul Gnomes drop 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000 souls for a single drop. So you can kill a Soul Gnome, find one within, like, 5 battles, if you get lucky enough. Normally it would take anywhere from about, it's about a 1 in 10 chance to find a gnome. And then you just need it specifically be a soul gnome. But you can end up accumulating a lot of souls that way, because they can drop 5,000 souls within a single drop. So one single battle could literally just give you 5,000 souls, which is absurdly high in early game. That's almost enough to max out a single troop. The main way that you accumulate them normally when it's not a vault event like this weekend is you normally accumulate them through Arena in early game. I believe to unlock Arena, you have to complete... it used to just be Broken Spire. I believe now you currently need to complete out the quest line for Broken Spire, Adana, and... what was the third? Soul Carry. If you complete the Kingdom quest line for those 3, I believe that unlocks Arena. And Arena is your best soul rate in the entire game for early game, not counting whenever there's a Gnome event. In which case, doing the Gnome event is the best soul rate for newer players. You can end up gaining upwards of 20,000 souls per hour just off of soul gnomes, among all the other drops you get. Like about 10 diamonds per hour, 2,000 glory per hour, a bunch of gem keys, a bunch of other keys, a bunch of vault keys, a bunch of other value. It's really nice. Like, it's absurd how much loot you get during vault events. It's only about once a month, though. But it is this weekend. From about 6 hours from now until Monday reset, you will have vault event next 3 days. And since it'll be your first vault event, you probably want to grind it like crazy. And even if it's not your first vault event, it's generally a good idea to grind it. You can get upwards of about 100 gem value per hour, which is higher than any other method in the entire game. So it's only available for 3 days of every month. And sometimes you can get even higher value than that. But on average, I feel like it comes out to about 100 gem value per hour. It can vary quite a bit, though. Like, you can get hundreds of gem value per hour. Even on Vault Keys, there's quite literally a 250 gem drop as well. It's pretty rare, though. I want to say it's like a 1 in 25 or something. A lot of value out there this weekend. Oh yeah, challenges give an okay amount of souls. It's not particularly high, though. But they're really quick to kill out. So if you haven't done all the first challenges for every kingdom during a vault event, one good thing to consider is go do the quest line for every single kingdom, because those are super quick kills. And then go do the first few challenges in every single kingdom. because those are also extremely quick kills, particularly the very first challenge, which gives souls. So not only would you get some souls, but you would also get extremely quick kills, which will rotate through gnomes for the gnome weekend. Because quest lines and challenges do both have gnomes on them. While both of them are only limited, and that you have a limited amount of times that you can ever do them, they both do have the gnome chance. So if you're a newer player that hasn't gone through those yet, it is highly advised to do the first few challenges in every kingdom, as well as, you know, complete out the quest line itself, so you can unlock those challenges. It's always a good idea, and there's never a better time to do those than during a vault event, because you get a substantially higher amount of loot while doing them, due to the gnomes that you'll be getting. And the main reason for that is you can quick kill them. All the quest lines and all the lower end of challenges are super, super quick to kill. Though, I believe Explorer 1 might actually be weaker than them, though. Not 100% certain on that. Because Explorer 1 is absurdly weak. Yeah, if you're a brand new player, some of them could be a little bit annoying, some of the quest lines. Though last I recall, Rowan plus Urskea's shield is enough to clear every quest line in the game. I'm like 90% certain that Urskea's shield classed into Rowan, into 24 armor buff off of guards things. Even just probably the 24 armor buff alone with Rowan, even in early game, is probably enough to one-shot every quest line in the game. Oh, what do we grab here? We'll take that for now. Oh, so we should almost have our 100 gems. Also, it is advised whenever you have these 150 kill things, and as well as the 20 gem ones, where you have to kill 100 of anything. It is advised to do those the day of. With the 100 kill ones, you can pretty much just get it by doing your dailies. But the other ones can take a little bit longer, like the specific kill ones like we're doing right now, where you have to kill 150 reds. But it is advised to do these the day of, because if you don't end up doing them the day of, the task stays there and you don't get a new one. Meaning at minimum, you're losing 20 gems every day that you don't finish it out every day. Or you're not losing gems, but you know, you're just not getting additional gems. And you end up getting quite a substantial amount of gems from it, so might as well. And just doing your dailies normally gets the 100 kill one done, when you have to kill 100 of anything. The only one that normally takes longer is the 150 specific color kill. However, you can easily get it done within about an hour of Explorer, even if you just do an Explorer that doesn't have much to color. Like this kingdom does not have a lot of reds, yet we're still getting all the red kills we need. Oh no, it's normally not worth going for the buying your way into auto leveling. You can buy yourself all the way into, I believe, auto level 15, as you mentioned, yeah. But it's not really worth it. Auto level 5 could somewhat be worth it, but you get such little souls savings that it's not that worth it. Like, it's mostly trivial. Because to get level 15, I think you have to spend several hundreds on the game, which I personally would not consider as worth it. The best overall method for just going around souls is vault events always are good for souls. When it's not a vault event, if you're an early game, you do arena and or treasure hunt, either or, though arena is a little bit better. But treasure hunt still has good early game loot as well. And other than that, later in the game, you use Dragon Soul. As soon as you own a Dragon Soul, you can start using Dragon Soul with double Necromancy troops of any kind, Warlock being the cheapest, into anything with Purple Storm. So Hero with Purple Storm, or if you happen to have it, a fully traded Umbral Wolf into Purple Storm, though Hero with Purple Storm's cheaper, obviously. And then from there, if you start putting that team into the most expensive team, which is Dragon Soul, double Farish Ra into Umbral Wolf. And that's the best soul rate in the game, being able to get about 50,000 per hour or so. And that's basically the progression of souls. Where you either do, you always do vault events and arena for early game, the Dragon Soul method with any necromancy for mid game, and Dragon Soul with double Farish Ra for end game. And the rates for those is Gnome event can vary. but it's anywhere from about 10 to 20,000 souls per hour. Arena can vary, but it's similarly also about 10 to 20,000 souls per hour. Though it depends how well you can do Arena. It could be less if you're not too good at Arena. Though the Gnome event wouldn't matter if you're good at anything, because it doesn't really matter at all, as long as you just keep clicking quickly and just fighting low-level content. You can just keep getting the Gnomes very quickly. And then the Dragon Soul method with Necromancy is about 20 to 30,000 souls per hour, and the Fangowolf method is about 40 to 60,000 per hour. I believe it's closer to 45 to 50 these days. Yeah, Arena, if you can consistently win Arena for all their wins, you can get around 10,000 to 20,000 per hour. I believe for a newer player, it'd probably be closer to about, I want to say 8 to 10,000. However, once you start getting a little bit more of a hang of Arena, you start getting some of the better weapons, it can increase quite a bit in time. Also, the 20,000 rate is more so assuming you own Dawnbringer, which generally, obviously, a newer player won't own, because you need 1.3 million souls for Dawnbringer, so that's something unobtainable from early game. But I don't even think my Switch account ended up bothering to get it, just because it costs so many souls. It was like starting to get some souls accumulated for, but I didn't bother going all the way. But yeah, generally as a newer player, I would say it ranges from like 5 to 15,000, probably in that range, because you'll lack the better weapons to use in Arena, plus the experience of just using those troops and stuff. The Arena does play a lot different than most other points in the game. I'm pretty sure some newer players are actually better at Arena than some late game players are. It's because Arena becomes relatively pointless after you own Dragon Soul. Once you own Dragon Soul, you theoretically never need to play Arena again. And now it's not even the highest trophy rate in the entire game either anymore, which used to be the only reason why late game players used to play it. Now there's a better trophy rate now that Explore 5 gives 2 trophies each. Because now you can just spam Explore 5 with one-shots for more trophies than Arena ever gave. It's actually the highest trophy rate that has ever existed in the game. Came in the most recent patch. It's really hard to set up for, and you need really high stats, and it's pretty much only accessible to late game and end game. But there technically is a better trophy method than Arena now, which has made it even deader of content. They are planning on reworking Arena next year, though. It's been dead content for a while, other than for newer players and for people wanting trophies, which isn't even viable for trophies anymore now. But yeah, they're planning on reworking it next year, since its only real purpose is for newer players and mid-game players, possibly, if they haven't gotten Dragon Soul yet. Though I highly advise the second you get Dragon Soul to never play Arena again. You'll see why once you get Dragon Soul. It is so much quicker, or at least so much more consistent, I should say. Because people who are really good at Arena can get the same rate off a single Dragon Soul as they can off of Arena. But just so much more consistent and a lot more relaxing. Because you have to focus a lot when you're playing Arena. Whereas you don't have to do so much when you're doing Dragon Soul. Let's see. We'll take that for now. And just double kill. Okay, what's in our final chest? Oh, only 2 Cedrics. Which I shouldn't say final chest. How many more do we actually need? Did we even get the 100 gems yet? I don't think so. Nope, we're almost there. One more set should do it, assuming we get enough red. We need 6 more kills. Come on, show me those reds. Let's see every last red. Oh, there's one. 5 more kills. You like the principle of Arena? You grind and work hard to get new troops and upgrades, only to ignore it all to play something that gives you a little benefit. I don't know. I like the premise of Arena. It's just its reward system is pretty lackluster, and it's an extremely dated content in the game. You have to keep in mind, Arena was added about 4.5 years ago. And while it has seen some tweaks in that time, it has been very, very lightly modified. Arena almost looks like what the game was, basically 4.5 years ago. Like, if you're wondering what it was, that's almost what it was. Not exactly, because there's a bunch more troops, but Arena's basically the game 4.5 years ago. No traits, level caps at 15, and yeah, it's like the whole limitation of the Arena is almost what the game looked like when it first started, essentially, which is kind of funny. But it hasn't really aged well, the game mode. At least relative to the rest of the game. It's pretty much 5 years behind the rest of the game. Well, they're doing some kind of rework to it next patch, or I mean next year. Definitely not next patch. It's sometime next year. We don't know when. Probably by 5.0. And 5.0 is likely summer of next year. Nice, triple red. This actually might give us the final kills we needed. You guys can see how many reds were on our most recent battle. Any other questions, anyone? Definitely let me know. Because once we end this stream, we will not be back until the 6th. So how many days is that? I keep saying 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks. I won't be back until the 6th, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It will be 11 days till you see me again. We'll still be posting some amount of content and some amount of checking on YouTube, but it won't be nearly as much as I normally do, obviously. And no streams during that time, unfortunately. So who knows? Maybe I'll go try using their internet to do one stream. We'll see. Because my friend has to work 2 of those days anyways. So instead of just doing nothing, we could just go do a stream and say Happy New Year's to all of you guys. If that does happen, it's likely going to be on the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Because we also get new content that day too. It's the Friday, it's the first Friday of next year. The 3rd, I mean, not the 2nd. But, yeah, on the 3rd, there might be a possibility we do a little mini stream. Let's see, we'll throw that down. And there we go, there's 100 gems, nice. And that is that. I can't believe we got 300 gems in a row. That is absurd. No wonder why our gem stack looks so big. It should be like 26,000. Now we're up to 26,335. Very nice. Arena didn't let you use your team. Oh yes, Arena lets you draft a team. The way that Arena works is you can use any weapon in the game. You draft a common from 3 commons, you draft a rare from 3 rares, and you draft an ultra rare from 3 ultra rares. However, you are allowed to use any weapon in the game, and you basically use the weapon to cover whatever your 3 picks did not get to cover, and you basically build it around that. Sure, I'll go check the Discord a little bit while I'm on vacation. Actually, hold up, I don't even have Discord on my new computer. I just realized that. I have it on my old computer. Yeah, I need to go download that before I go, so I don't forget. Actually, I forget what my account even is, to be honest. I may need to go look into that. I'm not even sure what email I even have it hooked up to. We'll see on the Discord part, because I'm not bringing my old computer, and I have all that set up on my old computer, and I completely forget my password for Discord because I never need to put it in. Yeah, I'll look into that, though. That's kind of funny. I did set up my Telegram thing, though. I never bothered doing it for Discord yet. I'll need to. It's one of the few things I forgot to put over to this computer. Actually, there's several things. A couple of those I need to make sure I do before I go. I'll try to remember the Discord one as well. Let's see. I know, that's the other problem. Well, that's one of the nice things about Arena. It does allow you to try troops that you might not normally use. Like, even I might even say, what does this troop do in Arena? Just because it'll show, like, some of the occasionally non-meta common rares and ultra rares that exist. Normally I know, though, but it's a good way to kind of, like, learn what some of the troops are within the game, if nothing else. Since it forces you to have to use options that you might not necessarily use on a regular basis, or even own, for that matter. Also, never, ever spend gems on Arena. It's possible to do so at the end. It is never worth it. It has never been worth it, and is absurdly overpriced in the current state of the game. Discord is on mobile as well. Oh, interesting. Might know get the app for that then. Just have it on my phone. But anyways, guys, I'll catch all of you. I hate typing on phone, though. I absolutely despise it. But anyways, guys, I'll be heading out for now. Don't believe there was any other questions. Thank you all so much for stopping by for our final stream of the year. We'll be back in 2020 as early as the 3rd if I end up having time to do stream that day. And if not, we'll be back on home on the 6th. And we'll definitely have a stream the night of the 6th for the new event week that week. I'll have some videos hopefully up across that time. I'll try to get some stuff recorded there too, like the Monday event video and all the new stuff coming on Friday. We might even be able to stream it if I have enough time, or if all that ends up working out. We'll see exactly what happens with that. But if nothing else, I'll at least cover a video on it. But we might have a stream too. But we'll see. And other than that, we'll hopefully have a few other videos going up between then. But anyways, have a wonderful New Year's. Have a good 2020. And I will catch all of you next year on as late as the 6th of next year. Anyways, guys, catch you later, and goodbye.